I love Kratos' thunk. Hello, I'm Phil Wang, and I'm here to talk games with BAFTA. The first game I ever played was a game called Ski Free that came free with Windows 95, I think. And you just had to control a skier to move down a 2D mountain slope and avoid trees and logs and bumps. And eventually, spoilers, a Yeti would run out of the forest and eat you up alive. And I don't think there's any way you could get not eaten. To this day, I fear the Yeti. The last time I played Ski Free must have been when I was like 8 years old. I don't remember. It's not really been brought back. It's not been remastered, Ski Free, until today. My favorite game of all time. That is difficult. I love different games for different things. Like, as far as a story-driven game goes, but then also incredible gameplay itself. The Last of Us, I think, is, for me, is the epitome of what games can achieve in storytelling and character development and immersion in a world. So it might have to be The Last of Us, with Ski Free a very close second, of course. Right now, I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3, playing Dave the Diver, Viewfinder right now, which are all very good. I've spent now, 4 or 5 hours on Baldur's Gate 3, and I've just about finished setting up my character. My favorite mechanic. Oh, man. I mean, it's hard to beat the thunk of Kratos' returning axe. That thunk is incredible. Like, you just throw the axe just so you can hear thunk again. You just feel like Thor, you know. It's so, you feel so powerful, and that's sick. I love Kratos' thunk. Favorite story in a game? The Last of Us obviously is amazing, but aside from that, there's a game called Spec Ops: The Line, which not everyone played, I don't think. It starts off like it's a normal third-person shooting war game, but it turns out there's a psychological element as your character becomes more and more deranged by the madness of war, and it really comes out of nowhere because you're expecting a sort of Call of Duty style experience, but then this narrative of like mental illness basically so it sneaks its way into the story. I thought that was very cool. One scene that I've always remembered, it wasn't a scene, it was in gameplay, which is what makes it so amazing, and I still don't understand how they did it, was, I think Bioshock. I think the first Bioshock. Or was it the second one? I can't quite remember, but you enter this area where there's a new type of enemy, and they're a sneaky type of enemy, and like you hear little sounds but you don't see any enemy, and you feel free to explore the room and pick up little clues and things. And there's this one table in the corner, and you go up to this table, and like it's detritus of this sneaky enemies, like I don't know, like the goggles, a bit of the mask, a creepy mask, and like the weapon or something, and it's just lying there, and you just find it by chance. And then I turned around, and the guy was just looking straight at me as I turned around, and I went "Gah!" and then like disappeared. But the fact that the game just detected me going on my own to look at this thing, get a bit creeped out on my own, and turn around and the enemy was there. I was like, that's really clever. That's so well done. I mean, Bioshock for a story is really awesome anyway. My favorite game character. Oh man, that's too tough. I do love Kratos. I love Kratos' like shift from goofy hench toxic masculinity into loving father. It's like loving high definition father. He's like, he's like low def Chad to high def father figure. That's Kratos' journey for me. I played all the God of War games, except maybe there's some like handheld one I didn't play, but I played all of them, and I've really enjoyed watching Kratos go from Chad to dad. My favorite game soundtrack, I think Red Dead Redemption, maybe 1. Red Dead Redemption 2 is obviously amazing, but there's this bit in Red Dead Redemption 1 where you finish a mission and you're quite far out and you have to ride back on your own. You're not in the mission anymore. This is just in open exploration gameplay. And this song that you haven't heard just starts playing on a guitar. And it's just you and the horse running for ages with this song playing. this like beautiful, lonely music playing, and it just comes out of nowhere and it just ends eventually. It's not part of a mission, not part of anything. It's just like at the end of this mission, you get this little song, and then you're back in the game. That was awesome. I love that. I love the Fallout soundtracks because I love all the old music. I love the old crooners, and I don't want to set the world on fire. As you look at like power armor clad trooper guy, and he's got a plasma rifle. That juxtaposition of like not so distant future, well, pretty distant future, and like the golden oldies, crooners and stuff. Amazing, such a nice touch. The Fallout series, it's a great soundtrack. A gaming series I'd like to see return. I mean, obviously I'd like to see The Last of Us 3. I don't know if my heart can take it, but I'd love The Last of Us 3, but I don't think it's happening. The Arkham games, I adored the Arkham games and big Batman fan, so the Arkham games were awesome, but spoiler alert, they literally can't do any more now. They've kind of patented themselves into that commitment. I'd like someone to remaster Battle Chess. I don't know if anyone played Battle Chess on the PC in the 90s, but as chess game, it was just chess, but then the pieces were alive, and so the pawn would go up and kill another pawn, and there'd be an animation, and they'd be like, and the other pawn would actually like die, and there'd be blood and everything, and like the bishop was like a magician, and he would make holes appear under the knight, and the knight would fall down and scream. I'd love like a 4K new version of Battle Chess. So bring back Battle Chess 2. That's what I'm asking for. I do not invert controllers, never. The first thing I do with a new game is I go into controls and turn invert Y off. Like I didn't realize everyone else were fighter pilots, but that is more natural to me. To go down to look up is, yeah, I'm not literally a pilot. I don't know why that feels natural to anyone to do that. You're freaks. Can I say you're freaks on BAFTA? British Academy of Freaks at Television Arts.
If you're playing a game where you're piloting an aircraft.
If I'm piloting an aircraft, then yes, I will invert Y. But that is context dependent. What I love about games, and I think this is speaking as someone who grew up in quite a boring place. I think a lot of gamers had an otherwise kind of boring childhood. I grew up in Borneo, which is a lovely place, but not too much to do for a child in the rainforest, in the jungle. Games were an escape for me, somewhere to go, somewhere to be, something to do, a story to be a part of, and characters to meet, and challenges to overcome, and problem solving to practice, and art and music to enjoy. For me, games are like entire worlds that you can literally live in. And, books, I've always claimed to provide the reader with a world to be in. But you're only really in the world for the length of the book. In a game, you can just be in the world for as long as you want, really. And depending on the complexities of the game, do all kinds of things in this world. So every game is a world, I guess, would be my take on thought. I mean, that's not exactly a new thought. Loads of people say every game is a world. It's literally called world building, but every game is a world.